Good morning, traders. Are you guys ready? And I got a surprise for you guys. Could we have potentially gotten the first swing trade in the trade the pool account? Find out all about it right here, of course, on live trading.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
What up, traders? I'm ready to get after it. You guys know where you guys are at. I'm Money Mitch. I'll be bringing on, of course, Ryan Faloona in just a second, but let's get to the action. Let's take a look at my swing trade. And yes, I am seeing it. Swing trading on the Trade the Pool account. And I figured out how to do this, guys. It's really important to kind of learn, right? How can we go ahead and maybe swing trade on this account, right? Of course, that's one thing that I definitely want to be able to do. So the way that it works here, of course, I have an 80,000 buying power in the intraday. But overnight, of course, I want to be trying to figure out ways that I can actually do a swing trade, right? So the key here is that overnight, your buying power does come down, right? And so your buying power goes from 80 to 8,000. So you just have to make sure that all your positions added up do not equal over that 8K so they don't close some of your position. If let's say if I had 300 shares of DraftKings, it would have closed my position, at least some of it. It would have still kept some of the shares, but it would have closed it up to that buying power. So I want to show you guys how we can do this. And the reason why I do this, right, is for what we're seeing today, right? Because if I would have sold this yesterday, yes, maybe I could have got 3160s yesterday. But what do I give myself the opportunity to do today is expand the winner, right? And I think that this is the biggest thing of why I go about swing trading a lot of the times is because I can get into positions like this where I can let the overnight action work. And what's happening right now? Market going down, and that's actually benefiting my DKNG NG trade, of course, Donkey Kong. We'll see what happens. Not looking too bad, up over 100 just to start the day. And the good thing is, you know, I can take some profits right out the gates if we get some quick downside sweep here, and then just let the rest of it be break even and continue to work it. Because if we could get back down, let's say $30 or maybe even 29, I mean, we're talking about a big win here for DraftKings. So let's see what happens, guys. Of course, this is kind of going against the NFL trade. Now that we've actually gotten the NFL open, I think you might start seeing a little bit of a pull back on DraftKings. So that's why I'm going after it.
Yeah, it seems almost like like a sell the news trade, right? Like
exactly was the mentality.
The event came, and now you're going to try to short the backside of that move. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, and the key there is always being flexible, right? And I had the positive outlook for DraftKings. Now I have the negative outlook. It's okay, team. It's okay to flip. This is where I think that some traders are a little bit weary of, or they can't flip their mentality. I think as a trader, we always need to be able to flip our mentality, especially if the price action is showing us something. So yesterday, what did I see? I saw a blow off top, Ryan, right out the gates. You can still see it on the screen right now. Blow off top. What's a blow off top? Is when you get this kind of like really quick momentum out the gates, especially. That's where I look for it. Right out the gates at a move that's already extended. So DraftKings was up about like 25, 28% in the last couple of weeks. And then it did this nice little boom out the gates and then a quick sweep back down. What does that usually do? It traps buyers a lot of the time. And so that's what I think it's happened here. The buyers are trapped. The bears are starting to jump in today. That's usually when I start seeing the bear action. And now I want to see, do the bears take control of the stock and start hitting some of those bulls that were loading in just because the NFL season had started versus going into the season. So we'll see what happens with that mentality. That's enough on the DraftKings trade. Let's go to Ryan. Let's take a look at the SPY. Let's take a look at different stocks. And you guys out there, let me know what's on your radar so we can go over it.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. I want to start off with this comment from Frank S. The scanner on Trade the Pool needs some improvement. Okay. Well, that is some really good feedback for us to deliver to them. But don't forget the scanner in Benzinga Pro is already awesome. And that's actually how I use this every single day. So shout out to Benzinga Pro. Being able to combine those tools is really what makes things work for me here. But we will deliver that feedback for you. And I appreciate you giving us that feedback.
Yeah.
We'll take any feedback that you have. All
Definitely.
right.
And we'll definitely reach that out to them. And I'm actually going to be talking to them just this Thursday and having a meeting. So I will bring that comment to them. The idea here of, like always, is to make improvements. I know Trade the Pool wants to make improvements. I know Benzinga Pro wants to make improvements. We're always trying to improve our products. So if you guys have any feedback, whether that be on Benzinga Pro or Trade the Pool, please reach out to us, whether here in the chat, in the comments below, or you guys can always reach out to us at shows@benzinga.com. All right, Ryan, let's kick it off. How's the SPY looking?
All right. Well, the SPY here, what's interesting, we talked about this yesterday in happy hour, and the same thing I'm kind of watching here today. What's interesting here is that although we traded back up, although we bounced off the 444, this also lined up really nicely with the 20-day moving average, which is what this orange line is. Even though we've bounced off of that, we actually set a lower high here on this run up. So it was actually fairly bullish, right? We traded over the 50-day moving average, which is the yellow line. During that session, we actually back tested that level, held it, and then moved higher. Now today we're actually slightly under that level, but I really don't think we can make any type of assessment until we actually get this daily candle close. So I'd be watching where we close in terms of the SPY with respect to 447, which is where that 50-day is. I got it at 447.09, but 447 just for the sake of ease. If we come back in, or if it looks like we're going to continue some of the downside move here, the next downside level would be that 444. We did have a couple of closes above that, so that should now act as support. We're kind of dancing around this level while the market figures out what direction it wants to go. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stocks that are actually on the movers tool. First one I want to start with here today is actually going to be the swing trade that we have been talking about here on live trading. I'm going to call this the J Rice special. I hope he doesn't mind. I'm just going to call it that. We did have some news here. We did have some news yesterday after hours that 3D Systems, Triple D, is delivering an enhanced proposal to take over Stratasys. They rejected this enhanced offer. So if you want to read the details about it, that is in the PR here in Benzinga Pro. The interesting thing is the trading action. Yesterday, when we got news of this, we actually traded all the way up to 1450. And the stock has since come all the way back down. We're actually lower here today. The ask is literally right at 13. So I'm interested to see where this ends up going here today. Generally speaking, if there's interest in a takeover and a company is rejecting it, they expect in either a higher bid or another company to come in with a higher bid. So I just kind of want to see how this plays out. Still long on this after the ad. We'll see what happens here today with the price action. Now, for some other stocks, there are definitely some on the radar here today. COSM, I think we've traded this before. This ticker seems familiar. Cosmos Health shares are trading higher after the company issued guidance saying it expects to achieve over 180 million in gross annual revenue and EBITDA in excess of 20 million by 2026. So we're getting a nice PR there. This stock was about $1 yesterday, popped as high as $1.47, has come back in. We're below VWAP. This setup we've seen a number of times, and I can't really figure out what's causing the stocks to actually move back up versus what's causing the stocks to break back down. I'm sure it's the quality of the news and what's going on at the business, but it's hard to determine that on a case-by-case basis every single day. I kind of just watch the price action. If the price action looks weak, I generally stay away and try to add on support in very, very small increments. And if the price action is just incredibly strong, then I'm a little bit more liberal with the entry, and I'll just try and grab some profit and get out. So when I see moves like this, especially the backside of a move, when it breaks down through some of the support levels, the next thing for me is I really need to see this firm up at some point. We'll see if we end up getting that here, whether it's a key level or some type of indicator like a VWAP or something of that nature. So we'll see. Don't necessarily trust the stock here. This would just be for a short-term trading vehicle. Next would be ASTI. This is Ancient Solar, Ascent Solar. Did I just call it Ancient Solar? Yeah. Anyway, Ascent Solar. We actually did have a piece of news here. This popped as high as 13 earlier. Let me see if I can get you that news. Ascent Solar Technology shares achieves a new benchmark of 15.5 in cell production efficiency in its SIGS solar technology. So it looks like we're getting a PR here about this company being more efficient than it has been in the past. Looks pretty good, up 21% here. A couple of things to keep in mind. First of all, we're pretty much right at balance where we were yesterday during yesterday's session. Near the end of the day yesterday, we really started to sell off. We tried to bounce, but closed almost near the lows. Now this PR is coming here today, bringing us back to where we were. In fact, we did have some pops that were on volume that took us higher than that. So the range from yesterday is something that I'm going to be really cognizant of here today. $10 really seems to be the support to the downside. This would have to show some type of long setup under $10 for me to be interested. Otherwise, this is a straight up stop loss. If I buy this anywhere above 10, trying to trade this for a multi-dollar move, a breakdown through 10 is likely going to stop me out because I just don't know where the stock is going to stop. I don't know where the downside is going to stop. So I'd rather wait that out, not incur unrealized losses on the way down, and then try to set up another trade. Closer we can get this to 10, the better, the less risk we're actually going to have if our stop is 10. The interesting thing here is that we definitely seem to be kind of dancing around this VWAP. So I want to see if the volume maintains when the market actually opens. And if it does, are we able to push through this VWAP on volume? If we do push through the VWAP, which is currently at 1091, I mean, to me, 11 is a no-brainer at that point. But more than that, maybe we'll trade through that 11 handle and try to test 12. Maybe we'll even try to test some of these pre-market highs. I don't know. This is definitely one to watch here. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to trade this one, but a nice price point. Let's see how the spread is. Got some pretty decent volume in the pre-market. So let's see what happens when the market actually opens. This one definitely on watch here today. LYRA, Lyra. This is Lyra Therapeutics. This is another one had a piece of news here today. You can see we actually popped as high as 640 and came back in. We're riding the VWAP here. Catalyst here. Lyra Therapeutics shares are trading higher after the company announced a Beacon phase 2 study of LYR220 for chronic rhino. I'm not even going to, I do this every day. And I give up on it every day because I'm going to butcher all these names. Anyway, phase 2 data for one of its studies. This is, and it looks like it met its primary endpoint. So pretty good data here. Any of you folks interested in the medicine industry, I'd love your take on this here today. Kind of holding here, really decent volume. Again, maybe we'll get a push away here from the VWAP. Got 649, or excuse me, 640. Going to be, let me zoom in on that candle and get you an accurate reading here. 640 is going to be your pre-market high. That would definitely, if I long this anywhere around here, anywhere in this low to mid fives, I'm definitely taking some, if not all of it off, if it were to get up to 640 on this one. So let's keep Lyra on there as well. Good old Gurn, right? Good old Gurn. This I feel like this. There are a couple of tickers that begin with G that are always seem to be on in the news flow and on the relative volume scanner. Today, it looks like it's Gurn's day. This is Geron. Geron shares are trading higher after Goldman Sachs upgraded the stock from neutral to buy and announced a $4 price target. This was as high as $289. We've come back into the VWAP. This is definitely setting up for a scalp trade here today. There was a pretty significant move in Bitcoin yesterday, and we're actually getting the opposite move here today. So Bitcoin, we're still down. Bitcoin had a pretty big down move yesterday, and today we actually have 2 legs up, but we haven't recovered everything. So Bitcoin's still a little weak. However, you are seeing some of those Bitcoin stocks react to that. So if you're watching the Bitcoin price here today, you might be able to actually make some scratch trading Mara and Riot. Again, I would be very, very careful with this. These are clearly just short-term trading vehicles, not necessarily a swing trade. NCNC, we talked a little bit about this. This gave a trade yesterday. This is back here in the pre-market. Let's see if this moves through the VWAP and sets up. and gives us another trade here today. Mitch, that's about all I got here on my list. I noticed that the chat was popping real quick. So how much time do we have? 3 minutes. Let me just go over a couple of stocks. I saw Hawaiian Electric was mentioned. We check in on this fairly regularly. Maybe we get a move through 13 here. If we take a look at a longer time frame chart, you can see it's really it's really trying to figure out where it's going to go here. Still have an incredible range, so good news can really kind of drive this stock. Definitely want to keep on your radar. I actually haven't traded this in several days, but I do still watch this stock because I think the big move might yet not have come. We'll see. And then there was another AVTX, Becca, talking about a penny stock here, AVTX. If we zoom in here, you can see this is actually up 63% here in the pre-market. So the stock was just under 9 cents, about 8 cents yesterday. Got a double top here at 15 cents. Let's see if AVTX goes. Again, I'm going to stay away from this penny play, but worth mentioning because pretty huge volume here in the pre-market.
Yeah, even tradable on Trade the Pool, even at 14 cents. So just goes to show you guys, and I'll show you guys it right there. Look at that, guys. So if you guys think that they don't have any tickers, well, they even got AVTX today, guys. So we'll see what happens with this one. Does look like there was like 3,000 shares that went through around 13 cents. Can it go through and get to 15? I never trade names like this, but I'll keep it on my radar.
Mitch, I'm actually gonna hop here for about 3 or 4 minutes and get an update on something that I've been working on. I'll be right back. Okay. I am gonna miss the opening print here, but I'll be right back.
No worries, man. You go ahead and do so, Ryan. I got this. All right, guys, we'll be ready here out the gates. Let's see what happens here on DraftKings. We got what do we got? 35 seconds left. So what I'm going to do here is as soon as we open, I'm going to look to sell half through kind of 31 if I can get it all the way down there, right? I could look for a little bit lower, but I just want to put an order out when this market opens at 31, just in case we get a sweep down move here in DKNG. I'm also looking at the bank situation to see if JPM can go lower. In tech, things that I'm looking at, I'm like Intel. Intel's probably my favorite tech name right now, but that could pull back today. We'll see what happens on Apple. Apple event is has been said to is going to be at 1 p.m. right, and then part of that is also I want to look to maybe get some out there. So we'll see what happens on Apple today. It feels like it's already a known. I did find somebody that was saying that they already have like what was going to come out. So I'll share that with you guys in a little bit here. Getting a little bit bounce on DraftKings right out the gate. So I got to be careful here as it is bouncing. Could just run to the money right now, but there's no point in that aspect. I'm looking for a little bit of a bigger winner here. Let's see if I can get the down move there in DraftKings, but I'm keeping an eye on it right now as it is bouncing. All right, getting a little bit of an up move to 3180s. Can this come right back down? We'll see what happens there. It is all the way up there to 87 on the offer right now. I don't want to jump in right here and just take the money because there's just no point at this point. But I am going to keep a very close eye on it because I don't want this going into the red. We'll see what happens there. And just to kind of take a look at the sectors and the industries out there that are moving, energy is leading. I think oil can get an uplift today. I saw it past 88.50s. And if that can stay above 88s, it's going to be looking good. I'm looking to see if financials go into the red. Right now, technology and basic materials leading the red side action. DraftKings getting a little bit more of a bounce. We'll see what happens there. If DKNG does get a little bit more of a bounce here, just going to leave it for right now. I still think that it could come down through that lows. All right, looking around. If you guys have tickers you guys want to call out, definitely let us know in the chat. ASTI, let's see if that one's available here. It is available here. It's a reverse split. Okay. I actually don't mind at least keeping an eye on these. These reverse splits have given you a pretty decent opportunity in the past. We'll see what happens on that ASTI today. Definitely something to keep our eyes on. It already pulled back. Did it halt on the downside action? I think it might be halted on the downside action there. No, ASTI.
ASTI.
It's a reverse split. It went up there. It popped to 1275 and then went down all the way to 1093. Damn, this is a 1 for 200. Holy shit. Right, a 1 for 200.
Yeah, that's to me, that's
insanity. This thing's going to move
Hey,
fast. Let's just say that much. Be
thanks,
careful with that
Lauren.
one.
Thanks for the comment. I did like that. We got several comments on the new thumbnail, Mitch. I liked it.
Hey, there
Becca,
you
you gave
go.
us a comment too. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I said this morning, I was like, who's that cute guy next to me? But
I laughed. I mean, I gave you the thumbs up emoji. Jay, would love to
that's
hear.
my
I don't
boy.
know. I don't know if you were here for my rundown. Would love to hear what you thought about the SSYS deal, the proposed merger from 3D Systems, and the
Yeah.
rejection of that offer, and maybe where we go from here.
Technology hanging in there. We'll see what happens. Right now, I do see Meta up a decent amount. So that's one that's leading to the upside. Microsoft going in the red there. Apple just slightly green here. Will Apple make a run today for their Apple event? That's at 1 p.m. So maybe we get a little bit of decline until then. We'll find out. DraftKings coming back almost to my entry already, guys. So I just got to hang in there because right now I just don't want to run to the profits because I could see this breaking down a little bit further. Just got to hang in there for right now. See if we get a downturn in the market. We are getting a little bit of a bounce back. The SPY and the Qs bouncing back. Will it get hit here? Let's find out. It's only one way to find out.
Mullen is spiking. I'm gonna avoid it, but just calling it out there.
Oil stocks trying to make a lift here. You can maybe look for Gush. Gush is pushing 41.59s. Oxy is getting a nice little rip out the gates. I talked about oil. It's going to be an interesting outlook because WTI is ripping. There's Oxy. Nice move to 65.20s from 64.60s this morning. And a lot of that to do with what? Just take a look at WTI now at 88.69 and above. It's gone to a high of 88.72. It's near the top end of the range and hasn't gone below the 88 mark since pretty much 8 a.m. So if oil can continue to climb, maybe we can continue seeing that lift. XOM, Chevron pulled back significantly yesterday. Now starting to get a bounce. You could see here how it went red yesterday. Now coming back.
Took some COSM here in the prop at 132.
Okay, I'll put you up there. Here, let me fix the screen.
I added the gainers and losers tool that comes with trade the pool here in my layout. By the way, got this from Mitch. Fit it in there, so made a little adjustment here to what I'm looking at.
Yeah, man. There's always ways to kind of adjust and try to find something. Tesla going red really quickly with a little bit of a bull trap. That tells me that we could flip right back down. So I'm looking to see what happens. The Qs and the SPYs are still strong. Microsoft going red, NVIDIA going green here from the open. So keep your eyes on NVIDIA. We know how that stock likes to lead. We'll see if it goes right back down. Meta was green, now red. Just did kind of like a little bull trap above the 308s, now back to 305s. This is why I'm staying in this DraftKings trade. If anything, I should maybe look to add here, but I'm not going to go ahead and add here because it's just going to increase risk. But if we come back through 3150, I don't mind adding and then just going for a nice big win today. We'll see what happens. Sticking to the trade that's working for me right now.
Going lower here on COSM. If we break through 123 to the downside, I'm just going to have to take the L on it.
All right, I'll go back to my screen. We'll see what happens on that. DraftKings definitely pushing on me up right towards my entry, and it could break above 32s here. So I just got to be careful. It's okay to even go slightly above. I'm okay with risking a little bit. Of course, I'm not going to risk a monster amount on this trade, but looking to see if this can come back down. DraftKings pushing on me today, guys. Looking at the smaller trades, the Mullinator getting a little lift today. All right. We'll see what happens with that kind of stock split stock when it reopens, but I don't expect too much from that. Fubo getting a little bit of a lift after getting hit hard yesterday. Disney pushing up after pulling back significantly yesterday after that news. It pulled back below the trend and then is now actually pushing towards 83.70s. Let's go to the Qs. The Qs still fighting here. We'll see if it comes back down. NVIDIA is the one that's in the green here. Just took off to 453s. So if you're looking for a move that's green right now, looks like they're buying the 450s off NVIDIA. At least that's what I see right now. Of course, you guys call your own shots, but NVIDIA looks like it's pushing here, just pushed off the 450s. Now I'd look for pullbacks towards that area, but pretty strong move there in NVIDIA. Apple trying to hold VWAP and make a move above 179.80s. Let's see what happens there on Apple. You guys can see it right now at 179.76. Can it get back above the 180s? It's battling there. Let's see if the Bulls and Bears take it here.
And real quick here, I did add on COSM just in case it bounces here because we're right at the cut spot. In fact, I should probably put a stop on this. Let's see if we can do that. Stop loss, put it right at 121. Okay. Yes.
All right.
So we'll see. So stop set. We'll see if we can actually break above. Otherwise, we're going to get stopped out here. 2 cents under the ad. So not going to be the end of the world if that doesn't work. Here we go. Coming back down to the stop. Let's see if we can just bounce right here.
Looking for a double top at 32s. I wanted to come back
Nope,
and not break
stopped out.
32s on the 5-minute for the DraftKings here. We'll see what happens on DraftKings. I want to add to this position if we can really start getting the market to come right back down. Technology is hanging in there. Financial services are up today. So I'm just keeping with the sectors right now. Basic materials having a decent area. Financial services actually lifting off here. So that could keep the market green. So I'm fighting a little bit of the market today. And I got to keep an eye out on that as JP Morgan's back up to 145.50s. We'll see what happens on the banks today. KRE lifting towards 43.78. So it looks like that's getting a little bit of a push today. Industrials pushing back after being really weak as of late. Deere gave me that chance to 400. I didn't take it, but it's back to 403.04s. So I might go after Picard as one of the ones that I was looking at. It's trying to recover as doing the red to green move. We'll see what happens on that one. Of course, Caterpillar also in play today. So keep your eyes on those. Industrials don't look too bad today as those are bouncing back a little bit. Will Tesla reject VWAP or will it hold here and then start climbing back? That's one thing that I'll be looking at. Tesla coming back here to the VWAP. We'll see if it gets
Tesla
hit
through
here.
the VWAP there. Yep.
That's an interesting one. I actually don't mind it for a short here off the 271.50 spot. But that's just the way I look at it. You guys can look at it as a bullish outlook too. I want to go after other trades, but I'm focusing on DraftKings here because I just can't, lose my train of thought here for DraftKings. See if I can get a double top here at 32 and it starts coming back down. Tesla, nice bounce. Yeah, it's bouncing with the market. It's a big thing for me is watching NVIDIA.
Micron straight up out of the gate. I know Wally was asking to see that earlier while I was mid-trade. Couldn't really help you there, man. But this is straight up out of the gate. I don't really see any news on this. This is just trading action. This went right to yesterday's pre-market high and stopped there on Micron.
Look at Intel continue going. My favorite tech stock right now. I wish I still had it from my swing trade last week, but it just keeps ripping. Look at that move up there to 39.40s. I was trading this at 35s, man, and it got up there to 37. I sold it at 37, now at 39 and taking the gap zone and looking like a takeoff here on Intel's chart. When's the last time you saw Intel make a move like this? It's been some time, team. I think the last time you saw this was in 21. Yeah, in 21. So it's been about 2 years since I've seen a move like this on Intel. All right, guys, we'll see what happens, but I'm still battling. I want to go after other names, but I'm just trying to focus on what I have here. All right, now I'm seeing that double top off 32s here for DraftKings. If I wanted to add, this is a good area for me to start taking out a little bit of that shot. Let's see what happens here. The big thing for me is I want to see the Q start pulling back and the SPY start pulling back. There's the SPY starting to pull back, so that doesn't look too bad there. I'm going to look to add a little bit at a time here. See if I can get some slightly above 32s here. SPY still continuing there, so I don't want to add. I have it ready to go, but When I see the SPY just continuing to push, I got to be careful. Here's the 1 hour resistance that I want to see what happens here. Is it going to catch kind of a trend line and start to push back here? Or is it going to pull back to the support? 447 support on the SPY. Breakout levels, if it can close above 448, that would be looking good. My thing to also keep in mind is remember tomorrow's CPI coming in. And one thing that I say about that is that I expect to see inflation actually take an uptick. Why? Because of oil. So oil has been in the 80s, and that's going to cause an uptick, at least in inflation there. So we'll see what happens with inflation, but something to keep an eye out. NCLH getting a nice little pop there. It came back to 1650s. Go after it again. I don't know, man. AAL at least, though, pushing off the 14s. That looks good for me. I still have that position on AAL. Could add to it down here at the 1420s, but I've been in so long in this position, I'm just going to continue to let it work.
ACB really popped again here. I don't really see a trade. It's really kind of run from that 85 level, but that was strong yesterday, strong again here today on ACB. No trade on that for me.
All right, guys, I'm going to take a little ad here. Just added 50 shares back to 300 share size, and just going to continue to watch this DraftKings. I really don't want to see a big push above 32s, but if it rejects here and then comes back through the 3150s, we're going to be looking really good. So I'm just hanging in there and trying to battle with this one. C3, bro, let's buy it. I don't know about all that, but hey, to each his own, right? Maybe you guys like AI or C3 AI. It is getting a little bit of a lift today to 2909s. See if that can keep going. How's the Ion Q game? Trying to get above the 20 here. Look at that. That looks like it wants to break above. We'll see what happens there. SPY pulling back now a little bit. We'll see what happens on the SPY. Can it go back down to 447 is what I'm looking for. But of course, if it doesn't and gets that 448 move, that's the continuation to the upside. We'll see what happens there. What's in the red today? Healthcare, utilities, defensives. Leading is energy, basic materials, and consumer cyclical. Seeing a lot of those gambling names up, so just going to keep my eye on that to see if we can start going back into the red. The SPY is going to determine a lot of that. All right, guys, I'm seeing NVOS mentioned in the chat. Roblox, SS Trade, made that money, baby. Take it and run, baby. Nothing wrong with it. All right, let's keep going. Team, I'm gonna get my stream.
Cannabis strong again here. I'm looking at CGC. That's moving. ACB obviously moving. Cannabis really strong yet again here today.
Yeah, I can see that happening. And I think that we're supposed to get a Banking Act date. I don't know if that's come out, but keep your eyes on that. Also, MSOS, is it above 9 now? It's trying to recover 9 right now as we speak.
Okay, just scalped CGC real quick on that push up through highs. I want this to set up. That was kind of a risky trade, but I just wanted to get some green on the screen. CGC might go higher here. Just be really careful with the cannabis names. They're definitely strong. I just don't want them to pull back here. Nice job, SS Trades.
Yeah, ACB going above the $1 spot.
Yeah,
so 111 there. We'll see what happens if those can continue to climb. Was another one that I saw moving yesterday. Sundial.
Oh, SNDL. Yeah, good call. Good call.
There you go. That's a little small name, right?
That's up here today too.
Yeah, Sundial Growers usually gets a pop when you're starting to see these squeeze, right? And this is a squeezing type of stock, right? And so that's why I'm calling out this one. We'll see what happens. Let me go ahead and put like the 5-year chart so you can see these pops on the daily. You see how it pops and drops? Well, I'm seeing a lot of volume come into it right now. Just trying to push there above the $2 today and hold that. It's not doing too bad. 226. SoFi looking good there. AMC pop. I don't know if I believe that one. Coin is one definitely to keep an eye out for. I've been looking for a move back above 80s. It did a nice little sweep move yesterday where it went down below 80s, now back above. I'd have to look for pullbacks because this is way too quick of a rip up. But doesn't look too bad there on coin for the pullback. Look at the daily hanging in there. And I've actually switched my outlook on coin. I usually am bearish coin, but looks like a nice little setup. And the reason why I believe in that is I believe that Blackstone and those coin ETFs and things like that could see a lift. And look how Blackstone has been reacting in the last couple of days. It's just been on a rip. Why do I think that it got that lift? It's because of the Bitcoin ETF. Just stating some names that I definitely want to keep an eye out for.
Huge block on CGC at 176 here, and it's being hit. They've actually already traded 2.8 million shares at that level, 2.9 million now, approaching 3 million just at the 176 level. Huge block going on there.
All right. I got to
This
figure
is
out if I'm
wild.
going to step up to the plate here. Stepping up to the plate a little bit here.
3.4 million
adding a
shares
little
traded
bit
there
more
now.
DraftKings.
And through.
I'll put you up, my friend.
That was, and they popped it to 79 here. Looks like they printed 80s. Now back to 176. They're going to load this up again. Man, there's so much stock being traded here. This is
Apple
wild.
With a takedown move. Apple's
They're
takedown
going to
move.
take 176 again on CGC, it looks like.
Apple with a quick sweep down, guys. So I'm adding here on DraftKings. Now I have 350 shares. So I'm trying.
$4.5 million shares traded at the 176 level here on CGC. They've taken it one time. See if they take it again here. Just a huge amount of sellers up here.
Intel trying to get through that high. The only thing that I would say is be careful with Apple and the bigger boys pulling a sweep move on you guys. Apple down big there. And that could just be trying to get ahead of the Apple event, right? It could still go down and the market not go down. I'd like to see if Microsoft can stay strong and some of these bigger names. Can Tesla stay strong? It did a 274 move there. Will it pull back here? That's one thing I'm looking at.
CGC
and one thing to keep in
gone
mind,
again.
Nice. One thing that I would say about Tesla is this could be moving off of the UAW news, right? So just keep your eyes on it.
Yeah, watch for the fall on CGC. Chris, that's kind of what I'm waiting for here because I actually want to trade this. And I think that if we get a pullback, we'll probably get a better setup. The amount of stock that they just cleared out at this 176 is incredible. Really quick, SS Trade saying, what's that new cup thing on BZ Pro? It says smoked tuna and the Arab trade from days ago. We are inputting. Oh, look at CGC Go, by the way. CGC big pop here. Grats if you guys took this one. Real quick, that we're listing user wins from the Benzinga community. So actually, SS Trades, you were on there too for the top win on your Rigetti trade a couple of weeks ago. So anyone within the Benzinga ecosystem can let us know what your wins, and you'll get added to the win feed. We want the community to always know that there are people winning in every market. And you can too.
One that I'd talk about is Mara pull back to 1050s or 1040s, somewhere in that range. I'd like to grab it. It's at 1080s right now, looking like it wants to continue going. Was hot this morning because of Bitcoin.
Would love to have CGC pull back at this point. I mean, I'm watching this action, and Mitch, I'm literally fighting FOMO. I'm like, I want to be in on this. You know, cannabis clearly in the news here. This is all going to the moon, blah, 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 blah. But I just can't chase it. I need to wait for a pullback at this point. Took CGC last night at the after hours. Well, you're doing pretty good then today.
All right, guys. I keep building, guys, and I will tell you guys, I am definitely taking a more high-risk trade today. Let's just say that much, because I keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I need to be careful here, but definitely have big sizing here in DraftKings. I have 400 shares now, guys. 31.97. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you one thing. Definitely sweating this trade. I usually don't go this high for kind of this type of trade. So I'm just trying my best to just focus on it and stay on it, team.
Mitch, I like that you're taking a shot here. I like that you're taking
It's all
a
you
shot
can do
here.
sometimes, right?
So I see your filled orders. Okay, there's your position. 400 short, DraftKings at 31.97. Gotcha.
You got it, my friend. See what happens there, right?
You need a
think
big
a lot of this-
fallback towards 31 is what you need.
Exactly. And so this was the level that it fought yesterday and then it flushed from, right? So that's what I'm looking at to the left, right? We fought this 32.10s. We made a sweep to 32.20s and then came right back down to 31.50s. This morning we were at 31.50s. So if we can go back there, at least I'm looking at maybe like a 50-cent upside look here. And so that at least keeps me in understanding the risk to reward on this trade. That's why I'm still in it, just because the risk and reward here makes sense for me. All right. There he is. Where's the cheese? Get that cheese, baby. Marty says he picked up some riot calls the other day, looking good. Yeah, especially calls, probably. Those are looking good.
Here's a pullback, first pullback here on CGC. We're 12 cents now from the highs. I want to see where this kind of settles. ACB doing the same thing, off its highs, but really not breaking down yet. It'd be worth noting where these things settle. There might be another trade still left on these here today.
NVIDIA, I think, is a really good watch here because it is having a really good day. So keep your eyes on NVIDIA to see if that can stay strong. It's been pretty strong all day here. I'll show you guys that right now. You guys can see it here. NVIDIA, big move. Can it come back and not use 455 as resistance? So taking that out on a 15-minute candle could be the driver that drives the Qs back up towards the highs. Qs are driving right now. Can it get through the highs? Keep your eyes on that. I'm watching this action right now. It's trying to lift off here to 376.50s. Let's see if it can actually make the move.
CGC back down to 176. This was the first level where there was a lot of stock that we cleared out. Looks like it's trying. Actually, I'm going to try a little bit here. We'll see. This is in the main account, not in the prop. So I'm going to have just a very, very tight stop here. This is super high risk. I'm just thinking that maybe we bounce from right here a couple of cents. Nope. Continuing to break down. Nope.
Big important spot here for the Qs. SPY also still staying in the green there. Chevron made a pullback to the VWAP 166. We'll see what happens on oil there. Starting to pull back. XOM back to 116. Gush starting to pull back there. So energy, a little bit of a pullback. What will go into the red? I'll let you guys know what starts to lead. Cyclical is leading right now. Energy and technology. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, Cal, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking you might get a VWAP yank here. But just with us being a little bit further away, 176 being in a spot there, just decided to take this here. Breakdown past 170, I'll be out on this one, and we'll wait for a VWAP setup.
All right, guys, still on the battle here. We'll see what happens.
Still decent volume here. It's all selling volume, though.
Intel is definitely one of my favorite EKS, noticing that high move there in Intel. And there's a reason why I put it up on my Twitter. I don't usually put out that I see strength in a name unless I really do see it. Q's trying to push here. We'll see if it pushes or does it start to turn around here. That's one thing I'm looking at.
I think CGC probably going to keep coming in here. We'll see what happens at 171. They keep they took all of it.
JPM on the VWAP right now. Will the VWAP bounce here or will it get the cut down? That's one thing I'm keeping an eye on is JPM. Ooh, alert, alert. That means the Qs are moving higher here. 376.60s. 376.50s. Can we hold and close above here on a 15-minute? 2 minutes and 30 seconds here to close above 376.50s is what I'm looking at on the Qs. And JPM getting a little bit of a bounce there. That looks interesting off the 145. But either way you want to play it, right? That's what I wanted to note there is the JPM right on the VWAP here at 145. Will it make the move back to the highs or a cut down? That's one trade that I can just take a look at. It just seems like it makes sense on both sides, really. All right, looking at what could go into the red here: communication services, defensive, utilities, and healthcare in the red. So be careful with CVS. CVS was really strong this morning. Don't know what news was out, but man, it's trying to recover now. Let's see if this maybe makes a recovery on the day. It was really strong this morning. CVS.
CVS Wolf Research upgrades CVS to outperform, announced an $80 price target.
It was something else though, Ryan. This hit the tape like really close towards 9. So there's something that we were missing at least.
Okay.
We were talking about the Wolf Research already.
Yeah, that was actually floated yesterday.
Something happened at
during
9.
the close.
Yeah, something happened at 9 a.m. that just it pushed to like almost 71. So like you see how this is holding the prior resistance. This is why I like this play, right? Because I always look at the left, especially the prior day's resistance. Can you hold that as support? So you see how this stock rips above and then now holds at 69 as support. That's an interesting outlook there on CVS.
And here you go. Here you go with CGC. That first bounce attempt did not work. So we're out here. This coming back into the VWAP might be a potential bounce play at the VWAP. Be careful if it overshoots it too. That's always possible.
SoFi starting to make the move. I've talked about that stock and how it could get the lift, especially as we get closer and closer to October as loans come back into play. SoFi should be seeing at least some attention. And then we'll see what happens there on SoFi. It's up there past 9 today. So maybe pullbacks below 9 seem to make sense. Risk off of 8. Doesn't look too bad there for me. So I see what you guys are looking at out there. All right, DraftKings now starting to get back into my favor, back to 31.90s here. So I'm stepping up to the plate. That is 100% certain. And now the only question is, will the market come back down? Will DraftKings and some other gambling plays come down? That's what I'm watching right now. It's been hot on the day, so I got to be careful here. But we'll see if we start getting the takedown. 400 shares from 31.97. Here's it back into the 80s. So that's looking good there for me. I could take some profit right now, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the move back down through 31.50s and then wiping out some of these bulls. We'll see what happens. Definitely taking a shot, guys.
CGC might be trying to bounce here from the VWAP. See how strong this bounce can actually be. By the way, getting some more news here from SSYS regarding that termination. I'm going to go check that out in a little bit here. Just want to wait for this bounce play to potentially be done.
All right, looks like that ASTI opened up. All right, so it did open up. If this could come back to 11, I don't mind taking a short somewhere in the 11.50 range, but you got to be completely careful when you're playing a name like this that's moving that fast. So it needs to come back to VWAP if I wanted to take a short on this. It could just leak out all day. I don't chase leaks. I look for bounces to short them.
I thought you were going to say I don't chase leaks, I fix them.
Nah, unfortunately, I don't have that plumbing. I don't have that plumbing mentality, and I've seen plumbers do their work. That is one of the worst jobs of life. Shout out to all the plumbers out there because I can't do that job.
Yeah,
hell no.
No joke. That is a skill you will always be around and in need if you have the skill to repair plumbing issues.
Yeah, dude, that is one of the hardest jobs. I remember just trying to change out like a what do you call those? The food processors. Oh my God, that was hard as hell.
A food
I thought
processor.
That would be easy,
you mean a garbage disposal?
Yeah, the garbage disposal.
Okay, I was like, a food processor is an appliance, bro. That is not plumbing.
No. You get what I mean, right? So the food disposal, dude, taking one of those things out was no joke. Maybe they made it easier now, but I remember doing that.
Depends on the one you have. I actually, when I replaced my sink, I did it with one of my buddies. He's pretty handy. When I replaced my sink, I kept the garbage disposal, took it off the old sink, put it on the new one. It worked all right, though.
Yeah. It's not the easiest jobs. I'll tell you that much.
No, it definitely isn't. Real quick here, CGC, this is got to bounce soon. It's feeling a little heavy, like we might break down through the VWAP here. We'll see if we can bounce. I don't know. Volume is definitely drying up here, so backside of this move might not be as good as the front side of this move.
Need to kind of keep an eye out on the SPY to see if we come down here and start to break to 447 is what I'm looking for. But if we don't get it at some point, DraftKings could get an up move. So I'm looking to see if the market can go to red from the open. If that could happen, that's going to really help my position. If it doesn't, it could actually push it above here as it keeps holding in. One thing that I think is fighting the turn today is industrials in the green and financial services in the green. That's actually helping holding this up because healthcare is on a takedown move. Technology staying strong here. So also keep your eyes on NVIDIA, up 2%. Like I talked about, NVIDIA is such a strong name and such a strong indicator of the market. Look at it now, guys. That's the big push there by NVIDIA. And so that's what I'm keeping a close eye on. Also, keep your eyes on the really strong names today. Intel has been really strong, now almost to $40. I'm glad at least I've been bringing this stock up on pre-market prep. DraftKings is helping me out. It just made another move lower. So that's actually looking good. I'm still sticking to that. But there's some good tech action today. So just be careful. Seems like a tale of two markets, at least from what I'm playing. I'm just going to stick to what I see out there. Industrial strong, technology strong, energy plays on pullbacks. Those are the things that I'm looking at. CGC lost stream. Banking is not voting on cannabis next week. That's a big information, Chris. So that's what we need to be looking for.
Yeah.
That vote.
No bounce at the VWAP. Bounce failed. Tried. Bounce failed.
All right, I'm looking around to see what's going to happen here with the Safe Banking Act, right? And is it going to get stalled again here? Are they going to vote on it? What's going to happen here, I think, is the important thing to kind of keep an eye out for these cannabis stocks, right? So I'm looking to see what happens there. I did see no safe markup vote next week, and this came from TDR. If you guys don't know TDR, it's the Dales Report. We're actually working on bringing a show to you guys from the Dales Report. But it looks like next week, the Senate committee won't be casting their vote on cannabis banking legislation, despite some insiders and analysts hinting otherwise. So this was released by them. So it's something to keep an eye out for to see if the cannabis stocks do a turnaround. So I think maybe cannabis stocks can maybe do like one more push, maybe one more day. But in the next day or two, I might be even looking to short these names. And you guys know I like the cannabis industry. It's nothing against it, but
yeah, you're just trying to play that makes sense. Maybe we bounce here on CGC.
A lot of topping action on NVIDIA here. Does it take the move to 457 or back down to 452 is very important. That's the market right here. And trying to hold here on VWAP. And you can see DraftKings just made a move back to 96. I got to be careful on this name. That could get the squeeze on me today. But just keeping an eye on it. And NVIDIA is a big, big indicator for me if the market wants to come back. So you can see here it's been fighting and fighting. On the 5-minute, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks to the upside. And candles not closing above pretty much 455. And so I'm looking to see if this 5-minute candle can close above that. I have a 15-minute chart here, but I'm looking at it on the right-hand side and looking to see what happens here. Do we close towards 457 or 452? That's going to determine a lot for me on the market. Qs still staying in the green. Apple down about 0.83%. Microsoft going red here. Does it recover? That's something I'd be looking at. And then Tesla. What about the Dragon? Dragon's up there to 278, battling that 278. Almost three tops at this 278. Does it go to 279? Could do a wick and then a pull back down. I'll be looking to see if this 5-minute closes above that 278. This is one of those days, guys, where I feel the pressure, especially on this DraftKings position. But hey, that's one thing that I'm going to share with you guys, right? Win or lose, I'm going to give you guys how it comes. We'll see what happens. I love cannabis. I worked in the industry for 6 years here in Colorado. Yeah, Chris, I love the industry, and I think that it has a really good upside. But the biggest thing here is always going to be when do the OTC stocks come to the market? That's what I've been waiting for years, and I'm going to continue waiting for that. I talk about this all the time with cannabis, and there's always the haters out there that say these companies are not going anywhere. I think there's still potential for a huge run. It's just going to come when these OTC stocks can come back to the market, can actually, list and get there, right? When you see that, I think that's going to be something to keep an eye out for. And we're talking long-term trading, not even day-to-day trading here.
Jay would like to know what you think about SSYS stopping the discussions with 3D Systems regarding that merger. I'm kind of going through the PR right now. They're basically saying, hey, this isn't great for our shareholders. We want more. But I'd like to know if you're going through this and what you think about this. I know that you wanted to wait till the special meeting, which comes at the end of this month, I believe, but this news is fresh as of this morning.
DraftKings back up to 32. I'm just battling and waiting, guys. I can't cut it out right now. I just have to stick in there and see what happens here. Market and the SPY is still holding into the 447 pullback. So I'm looking if the SPY could pull back to that 447 and then just do a dump there, because that would definitely flip my trade. There's 447. Now we're dumping a little bit here. I could even add to it in some more and take more of a shot, but whew, it starts getting bigger and bigger here, guys. Got to be careful. All right, guys. So if we go back through 3180s, that's what I'll add a little bit more. So like if we start going back into my favor, now I just want to add closer towards the win versus adding right here on break even. Looking to see if the SPY can make that down move or not, right? Because it's going to be a big thing. For me, financial services going in the red would be a good outlook to see. JPM now starting to come back down. Remember, I talked about how it had that view out bounce opportunity to go up through 145.50s. Now it's coming down pretty fast. So I could look for maybe the KRE short here as that's coming down fast also. And I could maybe look for FAZ to lift. These are just trades that I'm thinking about really quickly. Not taking any of this, just talking about it mainly. And then also take a look to see if you see XLF take a downside action move. That's, of course, the financial spiders. Will this just crack right back down? I'm looking to see if the banks can crack here first.
Real quick here, 13, great shout here. We talked about Oracle last night. Oracle filled the gap to its June 9th highs. So this move here, right, this entire island here basically made a giant double top, right? Pot went up, came back in, really kind of held that, went back up, rejected right here, humongous gap down, filled this gap. Question is where do we go next on Oracle? Potential bounce spot here for a swing long. I'm not going to take this, though. I don't trust Oracle right here. I think maybe we kind of come back in and test that 100 level. But good spot here. Definitely filled that gap. We talked about this yesterday, and sure enough, here we are today filling that gap.
All right, guys. Going to look to see if DraftKings can reject or not. It's right there above. Could squeeze me, but just going to stay in it for right now.
Jay looking for a bounce here on Oracle.
447.
Just talking about.
You want to take 447? Let's take a look here. So you see the 447 is right underneath here. Last time we came down here, we kind of swept back to this level. Let's see if we take out 447 on the downside action here. See the SPY right now, and you see this resistance. This is going to be important to look for, you bulls. If you guys get it back above this level, then yeah, I could see the SPY like kind of really ripping today. But other than that, that's kind of the level that's the line in the sand for me. So I would put this like as green. Things above this could really push towards the upside, because what do you see there? 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to try to go through that level, right? So we'll see what happens on that aspect, and then downside through 447 is what I'm looking for on red side.
Real quick, Duke the Fool. Yeah, Oracle is trading down on earnings, right? So they had mixed earnings last night, reported a beat on the EPS and a miss on the sales. Listed, I don't know if you follow a bunch of their different divisions here, but they listed some of the growth in their different divisions. Also, downgrade here this morning. on Oracle. Maness Capital downgrades Oracle to neutral. Was there another one in here? UBS maintains the buy but lowers the price target here. So earnings going to be your big driver here on Oracle. Again, looking for the bounce after this gap fill spot.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad report. What a lot of what I saw out there was comparables to the year-over-year outlook for cloud. So cloud grew stronger last year than it did this year, and that's what they were hitting it on. But of course, when it comes to earnings report, a lot of time it's more the current environment that matters more than even the company reporting. I think that's what came in here with Oracle. A lot of uncertainty on what's going to happen tomorrow with inflation. And then if you look at like Qualcomm that had a decent kind of catalyst and then came down. So that kind of affected it. And I think another thing that affected it was what? That it ran into the earnings, right? And so a lot of times stocks can run into earnings and then get smacked. That's what happened there. Oracle's still getting smacked here. But Qualcomm coming back today strong, man, up there to 112, rip out the gates from 109. And this frustrates me because I was in it yesterday, you guys. And I did take a gain on Qualcomm yesterday, but look at the move today. That's a pretty decent move right there. This move would have happened yesterday, and I would have had a $200 to $300 winner on Qualcomm. So it just is how it is sometimes. What's up, car culture guy? What do you think about those cars costing like $600 to $700 nowadays? I don't know about you, Ryan, but I'm just going to say it right now. I'm never going to try to get a car that costs me $700 a month.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way now. But I mean, we'll see what happens in the future. I mean, I think we're actually having this discussion last night as well, too. Sounds to me like the price of cars is going to keep going up regardless, not just for internal combustion engines, but for all cars.
Yeah, that's not a good outlook for the middle class, right? Because let's just be honest, the middle class is already priced out right now. They're already priced out.
They sure are. And this is what 13 was saying yesterday. The United Auto Workers, when that strike happens, you can expect cars to cost more pretty much across the board.
Getting a push here on DraftKings. Just got to hang tight for right now, guys. But it's going to be more about what I think is going on in the SPY right now. SPY has made a couple of attempts to come ripping through the upside move here. We'll see what happens there. I think a lot of that is also going to depend on the financial services outlook and the industrial outlook. Industrials are really strong. Technology is at the top of the range. Energy has pulled back to VWAPs. So that's something to take a look at. Consumer cyclical at the top of the range. And then financial services around VWAP. So if those can bounce, get to the upside, I think that could push technology over the top. NVIDIA also a big watch. Bitcoin names getting some move. I see some out there. What's up with Mara? Did it pull back to that VWAP? Yeah, it's getting there. Mara's so slow moving sometimes. Yeah, VWAP's at 1060s. It's gone up a couple times here. So I would look for a quick sweep into the 1050 area. That's just what I'm looking for on Mara to maybe jump in the party, but we'll see what happens.
Oracle, no bounce here, moving towards the lows.
Watching JP Morgan, see if it's going to bounce back here towards 145 or do a cut down to 144. ACB, what's up with the cannabis stocks? Are they starting to cut down? CGC is right on the VWAP bounce style trade there. MSOS is one that I like that's already kind of faded and rejected the 9 move on the breakout. So maybe a pop here to 85s or 90s and then shorting off a 9 seems to make sense, but it might not even make it back to that level. So I like MSOS on the short side. Doesn't look too bad here. Let's see if we can get a quick pop to 80, and then I could short off like kind of the 9 or the 890 outlook. I don't mind it here, but it's just like I would have to risk like 5 cents off of the 80s. So it'd be kind of a scalp outlook here. Kind of like it because to tell you the truth, there's not many people that are going to be shorting MSOS today. It's probably expensive borrow. That's why I'm looking at it right now. Doesn't look too bad there. Just need a little bounce there. Get back to the 80s and I could short it off of 9. Doesn't look too bad. And that's why I think Cannabis could turn around in jiffy. DraftKings starting to squeeze me here, guys. I have my limit pretty much of what I want to accept, which is 32.19. Anything above that, it's going to stop me out. And it'll be a big hit too. So I'm taking my shot. That's all I can do. MSOS doesn't look too bad there. Starting to go lower from the 860s. And I had my chance there to short at 870s or 875s. I didn't get short there. Let's see if it takes out the 840s on the downside. If you start to see that one go, I'd be careful about CGC, and it's already going to 153s. So that's one of the things is Tilray starting to go down also. These cannabis stocks looks like they're coming back down to life. And if you feel against this outlook, hey, feel free to trade against it. That's what trading is all about. You can be against me. I will never get mad. Smash the like button, Chris. You know it. PayPal up 2.5%. All right, there you go. Coco doing well. DRNX. Not a bad one to keep a watch on. All right, guys, we'll see what happens. It's been a battle, that's for certain. SPY is trying to make that move above the 447, but still hasn't. I'm keeping a watch on that. You guys see this right here? Look at the wicks to the bottom. Look how the green line, this is what I've been watching on the SPY. Let's see if it can get above that 447.80s and close above that. If that does happen, that's upside action. It could sweep into the market. Back below 447 is downside action. That's what I'm looking at. DraftKings rejecting a little bit there. That's actually a good outlook. Now it just needs to start coming back down below the 32s, and the SPY would need to go down. But that's why I'm keeping an eye on the SPY, right? A big rip on the SPY is just going to squeeze me out. We all said we wouldn't buy $1,000 iPhone at one point. Yeah, but we all do it now, all right?
I mean, I hate to be the one that breaks this, but I never said that. Since phones started really kind of taking off with what their capabilities and what they can do, I've always budgeted more to have more phone, whether it's memory, the newer phone, whatever the case is. That line about I'd never pay $1,000 for a phone, that was not across the board.
Yeah, well, my thing is I don't think you're going to see people willing to buy cars at over $30,000-$40,000. It's not going to happen.
I think it's a need thing, right? I think that's one of the big things there. It's a need thing.
That's fine, but Ryan, I'll tell you right now, the middle class can't afford that. They would go bankrupt. Literally.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's so either the government's going to come in here and give us $10,000 or $20,000 to buy EVs. That's the only way I see the consumer switching to EVs is if we start getting like $20,000 credits. That's the only way.
I wouldn't even be shocked if that happens at some point. I mean, that is going to be inflationary. The move to kill off ICE vehicles is not a good one for the consumer. Sorry.
All right, here's the SPY coming back to the same area where it struggled before, and it came back, right? So this 447, so important. Did we just wipe out through 447 here? That's what I'm looking for. There's 447. Look how it freezes there. There's a reason why, guys. There's a reason why it's freezing there. The bears are looking at it. The bulls are looking at it. That's why I try to give two outlooks on the market always, right? I tell you guys what I think the bulls are looking at. I tell you what I think the bears are looking at. There's a big reason why. It's this level right here. Can we close below 447 or above 447.80s? These are the outlooks that I'm looking at. Financials, big outlook for me is looking to see if JPM can get back above VWAP. It's below VWAP for me right now, 144.74. That'd be a move above 144.90s, or a takedown move is a move back down to 144s. Big levels to watch for. NVIDIA starting to pull back, just to kind of state that. And other tech, big tech, I like to always pay attention to big tech, right? You got Apple red, Microsoft red, Google slightly green, Amazon red, NVIDIA green, Tesla
Netflix
green.
red.
Netflix red. It's red overall, but green from the open. A lot of what I refer to is from the open, but that's just to give you guys that, right? So that you guys understand what I'm looking at. I don't look at overall percentage too often because I feel like it confuses me. Like let's say for Netflix instance, right? It's red overall, but green on the day. That's where I get a little confused a lot of times with the overall. Totally agree. My kids are strapped already without a car payment, says Ben. That's conversation that we're having on the car situation. And just think about housing now, right? Think about how housing has gone up. What do you first think about?
And
Let's just
how
be
more
honest.
increased mortgage rates drove rent prices up.
Exactly. So if we're never going back to the 3% mortgages, well, the truth is the consumer will at some point have to adjust and say, I can't afford a $40,000, $60,000 vehicle if my house payment is going to be so high, right? If my housing payment is going to be so high. So, of course, we usually focus on housing first, and then we focus on our vehicle. We'll see what happens. There's those random situations where you see a trailer park and then Tesla's out in front. I'm like, I don't understand this, but the usual is that you have a Tesla, you probably have a big house too. There's the 447 starting to hit. Will we see the takedown here? I think this is something that we just need to look at. Look at the Qs. Qs just did a quick sweep down there. Qs, quick sweep. You see that? Quick sweep there on the Qs. MSOS, did it crack yet? Oh, no, it hasn't. I'm willing to go after it now. All right, let's take a little bit of an attempt here. I'm short a little bit there at 862s. 300 shares of MSOS. I'm going to hold off the 880s here. I see the market going down, so I'm going after it.
Market is going down here at the lows. Take care of yourself, Judge. Hello, Alexa. How are you doing today? Intel's breaking down. Mitch, you were actually trading Intel, weren't you?
No, I wasn't trading it. I had it as a swing trade last week. I talked about it in the pre-market as being the strongest tech stock out there. Now it's pulling back, but we got to be careful, right? Intel has made a huge run in the last like 8-9 days. At some point, it turns around, right? So I think at this point, I wouldn't think of it as a like bearish stock. I think of it as a pullback opportunity. Where can I go after this name? I needed to come back to daily support, which is around the 37. That's just the way I look at it.
And Intel here, this, the comment about it breaking down here real quick.
Yeah, I'll put you up there on the pro.
Intel very, very strong here today, but when it came back to the VWAP, actually acted very much like COSM, which has no relation to this at all. Really just broke through the VWAP and still looking for a bottom. I think maybe at some point this bounces. Really, the question is where. I don't have an answer for you on that.
All right, guys, now we're back down here, and I'm starting to look to add to DraftKings even more now. I want to go back to 3190s here and add some more, but if I could get 3190s, I will add another 100 shares, and we'll have 500 shares. Looking to get it. Let's see what happens. MSOS going into the green there for me as I go to the 50s. They'll want to see that get back above the 75 spot now. So what I'll do is I'll even set a stop here at 80s just to be careful. Hold me just to that. And now look at the hourly chart for downside action targets. So I'll look at the hourly and I say, okay, so don't look right, look to the left. Where's resistance? Resistance is right here. Where's the next layer of support? Support is down to 8. So that could be my first profit target down there towards like $8. So I'm risking what? 54 for 168. I'll take it. I'll take it. What is that, guys? 3-to-1 outlook. Let's see what happens. DraftKings. Let's see what happens at DraftKings today, guys. Probably the biggest shot I've taken on the trade the pool account since we've opened it. So we'll see what happens on that one. Q's going lower here. That's helping. SPY going lower. And let's see if the financials start to crack. JPM is looking like a short opportunity for me. Also, KRE is looking like a short opportunity, but that's already flushing. So I like the JPM short here off the 144.80 spot. But I'm not going to take more trades. I'm just going to focus on the ones I have. I already have a decent amount.
SPY new lows here.
All right. Show us that, Ryan. And what are you seeing, at least in the market wise?
I'm watching CRNX here because this coming back to the
That's
VWAP.
important.
This might actually be a play if this comes in and touches the VWAP. We'll see. But I had SPY on a different screen. And then what I was looking at is this, right? We just set some new lows here on the SPY. So this being weak, it'll be real interesting to see if we end up breaking down. It looks like we tried already to break down from yesterday's intraday low, bounced a little bit, but I think that this spot's still in play here for today.
All right, guys, we'll see what happens. Didn't get no ad there on DraftKings for pullbacks, so just keeping an eye on DraftKings now. Can actually pull my limit slightly above 90s to 93 here. Looks pretty good here, guys. I just got to let it continue working.
CRNX did come into VWAP here.
Okay. We'll be careful there with the market coming down, but how's the IWM doing today? That's one thing that I like to look at when I play those smaller names, or I see you guys playing smaller names, is I look at the IWM because sometimes it can go against the market. The IWM could be up while the Qs and the SPY are down. What do you see right now? Quick little pullbacks. Let's see if the IWM can recover and get back up there.
IWM technically is up, but realistically is near flat, still stronger than the SPY at the moment.
All right, DraftKings now down to 31.79 and below VWAP pretty strong here, 31.90s. Now I have to be smart, right? I have 31.97s. It's gotten in the red earlier today. Could I accept it going back through 32s? I need to consider that right now and just determine that, right? That's the hard part of trading. There's always subjective decisions. You want to try to stay to your objective approach a lot of the time. So for me, that's just going to be sticking to what I was looking at, which is kind of this becoming a head and shoulders pattern. So I'll show you guys what I see here. So left shoulder right here, right shoulders right there, and then the head is right above it with this kind of capitulation top. So you see that left shoulder right there starting to create. Definitely wouldn't want that left shoulder to break. And that's what I was looking at when the stock went up there towards like 32.14s. And I'll look for that to kind of start holding in here. So that's kind of the line in the sand on the trade. And where do we want to see it break is the neckline of a head and shoulders, which is down here, 31.40s breakdown. So this would be a very important outlook to kind of break through and see it get through below that today. A close below that, I'm looking awesome in this trade. Trust me, it was tough to hold that today. I'll tell you that much. MSOS coming back a little bit here. We'll see if it takes another hit lower. How's CGC going there? It's down to 152, 150s. A lot of volume came in there at the 150s. I think they're trying to play it back. Let's see what happens on that one. I could be off here, but I'm going after it on the short side. How's the SPY doing? Did we go red in financials yet? No, we have not. We went to 447 and went down there to 446.50s. Now I'm looking to see if the pre-market support that we bounced off of earlier starts acting as resistance. That's somewhere near this kind of level up here towards 446.70s. If that can act as resistance and then not get back through 447, that could continue this downside action. Financial services trying to bounce.
Colin asking here, is there a short regional banks ETF? This is a good question. I only know of KRE, which is the regional bank ETF, and then DPST, which is the levered 3X regional bank ETF, but I don't know of the short one.
What's that leverage one? I don't even know that one. What was it again?
DPST.
Honestly, I've never traded that one. You can always learn something new today, guys. Mitch, learning something new today. Thank you, my friend Ryan. You taught me something new, guys. Look, it's tradable right here.
Yeah, that's
DPST.
the bull one, though. He's
Yeah, it's the
asking for the
bull one.
short one, and I don't know what it is.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. If DPST is the upside one, right? We could just look at what's the inverse. Usually there's an inverse out there. So I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at direction products, right? So I'm just going to direction to try to see if there is one. All right. So looking to see here. I do see what this is holding, at least. Holding a lot of Bank of Ozark, New York, Huntington, M&T Bank, Regional Financials, Pinnacle.
Marty's saying direction doesn't have an inverse for the regional banks. Maybe one of the other shops does. That's kind of what I thought. I didn't know what it was, and I've been looking at DPST for a bit here. Jay, Oracle cut through the 110 support, stopped everyone out. Now it's $1.50 higher. Typical Gil Morales undercut. Jay, did you play that one? That man. I remember looking at that and thinking, nah, and here we are bouncing. Just, man, the struggle bus is so real right now.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the washroom. I'll be right back.
All right, guys. We'll see what happens on that. Yeah, I don't see it on there. I see only DPST, bull. There's no bear, at least that I can see there. But hey, that just shows you that maybe you got to short that one or something like that. And it doesn't look too bad right now. It is coming down pretty fast here. Let's see if it bounces at 60 or gets more flush down. DraftKings going to 31.70 there. So just trying to let it continue to work, right? Continue to work into my favor is what I'm looking at. SPY coming back here, 447 recovery. Will it get to 447? That's one thing that I'm keeping an eye on because we could just go into the chop game. If it goes back above 447, it could just be chop for the rest of the day. MSOS starting to come down there to 858s. Now that it's bounced a little bit, gotten up here, I don't want it to go back through my entry. So I'm bringing stop loss closer here towards the 870s, but there it goes to the 850s. So I'll put 872 here to kind of keep it a little bit tighter, but now up about $22 there on that MSOS short. Didn't get big on it because felt like I was chasing a little bit, but let's see if it can really start wiping down and coming down on that MSOS. Apple, big red now, down about 1.2%. And this could bounce later in the day after their kind of event, but they're getting washed right now on this move. All right, guys, always definitely smash the like. I want to tell you guys, of course, trade the pool in the corner where you guys see that. You guys see us using it. And you guys see me going after a swing trade on this, and you guys can be doing the same. Smash the like out there, guys. Definitely. You guys know where you're at. Live trading with Benzinga. Can we get it up there? Get some likes, man. Smash it up, team. All right. Keep it going, team. What are you guys seeing out there? All right, guys, I'm going to throw up here the link for you guys to go ahead and check out Trade the Pool. If you guys haven't done so already, check it out, guys. Here's the link for you guys. And like always, you guys can let us know the feedback that you guys have been doing there. And of course, we're going to be looking to bring some more for you guys from Trade the Pool, maybe doing a little bit of a competition for you guys to join in. What do you guys think about that? Let us know in the chat. WTI being mentioned in the chat. Let me go take a look at WTI. WTI almost to 89 here, guys. It did hit 89. This shows me oil could keep going here. We'll see what happens on those bounces. Chevron. Let's take a look there. Ooh, look at that VWAP bounce on Chevron today. That was a nice one. Oxy. Ooh, that was a nice one. I hope somebody was able to nail those. Look at those little pullbacks. Nice little 65s right above it, right back up there. XOM. That was a nice one too, man. XOM back down to 115.75. now back through the highs as oil rips to the upside. And just to kind of give you the outlook, is the market paying attention to the oils ripping higher and inflation maybe going higher? I don't know, man, but I'll tell you one thing. Oil gets back above $100 a barrel. Watch out for inflation. Gush to the moon. We'll see what happens. Doesn't look too bad. I'm glad I brought up Gush early and I brought up that oil move early. CVS still strong. CVS is still strong. That's looking good there. Look at that. Starting to recover. I talked about that earlier when it was at 69.20s, almost to 69.80s already. What did I see here? Good risk to return, right? Because like maybe you're risking 20 cents, but the move makes sense for 80, 90 cents, $1, and even more than $1, close to $2 outlook to the upside, back to that pre-market high. All right, now we're getting that flush here, guys. Can we get through the 3150s here on DraftKings, guys? I'm not going to lie. This is hard for me not to run to the money, but I'm trying to do what? Trying to stick to the objective outlook, right? We'll see what happens there, guys, as DraftKings looks to go lower. Can it break the 3150s today? That's really what I'm looking at. That's where we bounced earlier in the day. Will we break that? If we could break it and go through, like, let's say 3120s, I could take some profits at least. The shares that I added today and leave the rest to what? Swing trade, baby. So that means what, Ryan? I need to get back down to 250 shares at some point today.
So you're basically going to trade around your core so that you can keep the swing on through multiple days, book gains against it. I like
you
the strategy.
know it, my friend. I want to do that Tiger Woods move, baby.
You're doing it well right now, man. You're seeing things, you're hitting them, and it's good. It's good to see. Hopefully some of that rubs off on me here.
Hey, it has to happen at some point, guys. And I think what we always do is just stick to our trade, right? Look at MSOS starting to go lower to 840s. This could be a drag all day. So not a bad little move here on MSOS. With 100 shares, almost up $50 on that. I'm almost up half of the DKNG trade already. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some profits because, I mean, at some point I got to take some profit.
Yeah, that was a great call on MSOS.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an order out here for like 840s. All right, so you guys see it right there. The limit's out there. I'm just trying to get the 840 touch. And then this could go back down to like 8 today. And I can hold the rest of the shares to 8. So I'm looking to just get a little bit of this MSOS off. Actually, I'm going to increase it to about half the share size.
Yeah, Apple is pounding the lows here ahead of this event, Gladys. I'm watching that too. I don't have a day trading angle here on Apple at all. I'm not going to trade it around this event, but definitely showing big weakness going into the event here today. Stepping
up to the Donkey Kong game, man. I'm trying my best not to look at it. You know how it goes sometimes, team. All right, guys, let's see if I can get this push here and then just take the profits here in MSOS. So I'm pulling it down to the 35s, but as I see the stock price go to the 40s, I'll probably just take 40s half off and look to make some little bit more on MSOS, but I don't want to give up this gain here. So back above 850s, no matter what, I'll just take the gains, but I'm looking for the flush down through the 40s. And the big thing for me on DraftKings is, can it get through the 3150s? At this point, I shouldn't let the trade go red, because that would just be dumb of me. So you guys see me go red later on DraftKings. I'm sorry, but you guys should call me out on that. It's all about accountability, baby. Find some traders that can keep you accountable and keep battling, right? I always talk about this one thing that I've always wanted to do, and it's start a company called Accountability Partners, where you guys can call and kind of like give your life story of what you guys are looking for in goals in life and keeping you towards those goals. Try to find friends that can do this for you, and you do it for them, because there's really truly nothing like accountability and catching each other to push each other forward. This is what it's all about here. We're always trying to push each other forward on Benzinga. Ryan and I have talks about this, right? We're always trying to help each other keep getting and pushing forward to that next level. If you guys ever need help, reach out to us. We're always willing to talk and help you guys move forward in life. Jay Rice says, I need to stop. I need a soap and toothpaste. What happened? I need soap and toothpaste. I don't need a $3,500 Mac Pro. No, I think one of the things is, Ryan, I don't know if you heard about it, but I got some news this morning and I found it from just like a random site that I found out there that supposedly already had the Apple event, that they caught a rehearsal and they had it to like the key. And with that being said, I think that maybe some traders already caught that, right? Maybe some traders already caught that move. DraftKings here. As you guys see, I haven't been putting it on the screen for a reason because it just gives me a little bit of the yips. So I'm looking right now to see if it can crack this 3150 area. It's so important to crack this. Now we're at 3154. Can we just break through this? I don't want to see a bounce back to VWAP. I want to see this cut through. We'll see what happens here. Look at that. Somebody just covered big. Look at that. 12,000 shares, 956 going through there at 3155. Maybe someone was listening to me. MSOS. Can we get it here? 45. It's bouncing a little bit. It went to a low there of what? Got a low there of 42, 41. Canceling the sell orders right now. Trying to see this get down there into the 40s, lower 40s, but might just take some profit here just in case. See what you can do here. Keep an eye also on DraftKings to see what happens to that one. Can it get back through the 50 spot? It would hit 53 just a second ago. Looking to see if that can continue to drag. SPY is trying to bounce back a little bit. Financial services are actually going green here. So I got to be careful if technology goes back to green. So if technology goes back to green, which it's down 0.02 right now, 0.01, I got to be careful because the market could come back and kind of play a little chop for me. Looking to see if tech comes back here. Big part of that will be like kind of watching like a stock like Nvidia. Does it recover VWAP here, get back to 454, or does it go back through the 450s? So just kind of always looking at stocks like that to give me a little bit of a reading. MSOS at 43s here, and it's kind of stuttering around. So I'm just going to go ahead and take some profit there. I just took profit to make sure that no matter what, I don't lose on this position. Now I already have good profits. Now I can set a stop just slightly above my entry and let this trade work. If it just wants to leak, it's going to pay me well on MSOS. If it doesn't, well, so be it.
Great trade, Jay. Great trade on Oracle there. $2.02 off that. Just a great call off the bottom. Should have followed you into that. Awesome job, man.
Yeah, not bad, man. No spoilers. I want to see the Apple event live. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much got that all. IWM hanging in there, Jay. Good mention. XOM ripping, man. Yeah, oil, baby. Oil. All right, little bounce there on DraftKings as I see the SPY bouncing a little bit here and the Qs bouncing a little bit. Are we going to hold 375.25 is the support that I could see acting as resistance somewhere in that range here for the Qs, and then seeing that continue going lower. Microsoft and Apple are really good watches for me. Apple's still weak, 176.73s. Does it go to another leg lower to 176 or back to VWAP? Back to VWAP, I got to be careful and start probably taking some profits. Just trying to be patient here, looking for the takedown through the 3150s on DraftKings. And sometimes I got to just stick to the way the trade is set up, right? That's the way my trade's set up today. Stick to it. We'll see what happens, guys. Will I take down the Donkey Kong? I'm trying to get the balloon right now.
It's never gonna, it's like, there's never
I'm
gonna
trying
be
to
a
get the
time where I
balloon,
don't
Ryan.
find that entertaining.
Trying to get the balloon right now, man. I'm trying to get the balloon. Who you know you use Diddy Kong. It's all about the Diddy Kong, right? Slap him in right now. Slap him in and take this down, baby.
I don't remember. I mean, Donkey Kong Country. I don't remember. All I remember is the music and just the goofiness of that game, and it's just.
Oh, it was my favorite one. To tell you the truth, a lot of people are more like Super Mario fans, and I can't blame you for Super Mario, right? I mean, it's fun, but to me, Donkey Kong had it all.
Nice job, Alexa. I didn't trade Oracle today. I credit Jay Rice 100% with the Oracle trade. Just called out. Just great. Just a great trade. Really should have taken it with you guys. I'm trying to get myself back into positive here, but I am really struggling. I'm sorry I keep saying it, but I'm literally just fighting my own ability here, fighting my trading account.
Hey, it happens, my friend. All I can say is I'm trying to get the bananas today. I'm trying to get the bananas, Ryan. Do you see this? This is me today.
Banana horde, baby.
I'm trying to get those bananas today, guys. It ain't the chicken dinner today, baby. It's those bananas. I'm trying to get those Kong banana hordes. Can we get it today, guys? We'll find out. All right, MSOS starting to come back a little bit there, and I'm just going to respect my stop out of that, right? So it could hit maybe 850s. It's not going to stop me out. It's not going to go through my entry. I have it stopped out like 1 cent above it. I'm okay with that. Took a nice little gain on that first action. And it could take the gains off right now in MSOS, but what I'm trying to do is let MSOS work.
CRNX big pop here on volume to new highs on CNRX. Okay. Popped over that high.
Take a look at that.
I'm not in trade the pool. I'm in pro. Sorry.
You got it, my friend. I'll get you up there. CRNX.
CRNX. This might be going for 29 here.
DK64. I'm all about the Super Nintendo version too. I play that one too. And you know what's fun is if you guys have a Switch, if you guys have a Nintendo Switch, you can actually play these games for free. You can just download them and then like go to, it's like this like little player that they have. So you can play their old school games. I still play them. Anybody plays Mario Kart out there? I'll play you. That's about the only thing I still have. Because it's my wife's, but hey, she likes to Switch. Market's horrible today. Not horrible for me, car culture. That's how the markets can be, man. Alexa Morel. All right, I probably said that. Probably tore up that last name. Sorry about that. But Oracle did well for you too. Hey, shout out to you, right? You guys took that. Switch 2 out next year. Interesting mention.
Actually, 13's got a Nintendo thesis on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Gonna have to hear about that. Gonna have to go over to the happy hour.
We should actually bring 13 on here if he's available. I know he's got some real life stuff to do, but he's a really good live trader.
You know what we're
really
gonna do?
Good trader. We should bring him on live. CNRX, by the way, new highs through 29.
Ryan, I want you to get like 3 or 4 of the guys that are in the happy hour team, right? That are your like go-to guys, you know, that give ideas all the time. And we're gonna have like a little bit of a public happy hour. And it's gonna be a push for, of course, Benzinga's Pro happy hour.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do that. Let's line that up. You can bring 13, you can bring some others, and we can talk about why you would want to be a part of the happy hour team, right?
Okay.
So if you guys want to check that out, definitely we'll let you guys know exactly when we plan this out. But like always, we like to let you guys know a little bit ahead of time so you guys can plan out and check it out. You see? He said it sounds like fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, Jay, that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I'm hoping, I mean, to me, it sounds like it's, if they think the company's worth more, they think the company's worth more. But um, I'm cautious too, man. And the trading action here today is not good. Not good. We are actually right at the lows from the other day when this printed lows. We are right there, literally right now. So definitely nervous about this one. We'll see. Still long.
Donkey Kong, can you go lower? All right, we'll see what happens, guys. Can I get the action, guys? We'll see. Is it going to be a fire in the hole? Fire in the hole. See, guys, trying to get after it, trying to get some good tacos today, baby. Taco Tuesday. All right, we'll see what else is going on out there, guys. It's what time we got? We got 10:53 here, guys. So definitely, you guys have been seeing me trade here with Trade the Pool. If you guys haven't checked it out already, definitely go ahead and do so. Here's the link to go ahead and do it. And like always, there's going to be successful traders, and I think that that's the important part, right? Is trying to find also successful traders. So if you guys look here, I'm going to actually bring in a tweet from, of course, Michael Kratz. But what is it to kind of celebrate? I think is very important. Look here, guys. What do you guys see here? This is from Christopher. And he posted up on their Discord here. And you guys see him climbing to that kind of profit so that he can reach there and get his own account. Complete beginner, saying that homeschooling the daughter and still able to get this to happen. That's what I love to see. Things like that.
That's awesome.
And really pushing themselves forward. Now they'll have an account that they could make great money with for their, their daughter that's doing homeschool. Hey, I like that. I like that. In between a little bit of homeschool, able to nail it down. Hey, shout out to that person. And if you guys want to meet, of course, and try to get to the pass the evaluation and get funded, go ahead and hit that link, guys. What time does the Apple event start? That starts at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we won't be streaming it because they hit you with really quick copyrights on that Apple, baby. We'll see what happens there. All right, there we go, guys. 3150's broken, baby. That's what I wanted to see. And we got to pay ourselves at least a little bit here, guys, just to get some out there. All right, I just took 100 shares off just to pay myself $54. No matter what, this will be a win for me now. And I can just continue to work DraftKings, right? Eventually, I want to get this down to 250 shares. The next profit take would probably be down at 31. And then I'd let this continue to work, because if this could leak, this could be a big leak. We'll see what happens there. MSOS, can that hold the 862 pullback? It might get me out here if it does hit above that 862. I don't mind, because I'm not going to be in it for a VWAP fade. If it does come back to VWAP fade later today, I can maybe take it again. But I'm going to be smart here. Maybe give up a tiny bit of my profits, but I'm not giving up too much. Up 77 on the day. I'm looking to make a lot more, as you guys see that net P&L on DraftKings. Wanderlust later today. We'll see what happens. And do you guys want let's see if they were right. Here's this Macworld article that they thought they had access to a rehearsal of this already. So a leak out there. And they had a pretty good article here that gave a lot of information. I think they have it dead on, but of course we won't know until the iPhone event actually opens up, if they got it first. Ben talking about great bet on DraftKings. Yeah, getting after it today, guys. Getting after it. Taking a shot on a buy the rumor, sell the news event. That's what the trade was all about. All right, if I look at intraday movers, what's doing well today? I'm looking at it here. I'm seeing Riot still up, Intel still up. Mara on the pullback, Ion Q in the green. One thing to look out for is ARM IPOs is going to be released, I think, tomorrow.
I thought it was Thursday.
Let me just double check. I had the
let's
date
double
written
check that
down.
because that's going to be a big one. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, let me double check here. I have the 13th. Okay, so
is it priced or does it begin trading? That's what I'm thinking. I'm here. Let me just find it. I might be completely wrong.
Yeah. Let's find it, man. Yeah, I'm seeing some people say Thursday, some people are saying Wednesday. So let's kind of verify here. I think it's important because I think that's the thing that I'm looking for on Ion Q that could maybe give it a little bit of a lift and then eventually it comes back down if the ARM IPO doesn't go well. So I'm just kind of bringing in some trade talk outlook. Yes, the outlook is expected to be in the 47 to 51 per share range. And to tell you the truth, a little part of me thinks it's going to end up opening up higher than that. So be careful. We'll see what happens. Some people are saying September 14 in the chat. Let's take a look. I'll let you guys know once I get exact on what's going to happen. Looks like they're going to stop taking orders on Tuesday and launch date the 14th is what I'm seeing out there on multiple outlooks.
So I think that's what I think that's it. I think it's open for trade, I believe, on Thursday.
Pricing ends on the 13th.
Pricing ends on the 13th. So
we got it, Ryan. We worked through it. That's what's important there. So keep your eyes on that, right? And I think that's going to be very important to watch for.
That could make Thursday's session really interesting.
It will.
And not just for ARM, right? Like you were saying, there could be some other names that move in sympathy with that IPO that might be, worth trading.
100% agree. It's something definitely to keep an eye out for. SPY going lower is something to kind of keep an eye out for. Financials are actually going up here, which is confusing with that SPY being so weak today and only a couple of sectors in the green. Energy, financial services, and basic materials, industrials, cyclicals, just slightly green. Technology has gone red from the open. Defensives are red. Healthcare are red. And real estate is red there. So interesting to see that the SPY is even able to hang on just the tiniest bit right now. Energy is definitely the upside action move for the day, as those are just pushing and pushing. And that's I think a bad outlook for the market. I think it really is. I think in the long run, we keep seeing inflation worries out there. And the easiest way to get Jerome Powell some extra ammo is to spike that CPI the tiniest amount. You'll give the Fed some more ammo to raise rates at least one more time, right? And so
I think that's happening anyway, personally.
Yeah. And then what if it spikes and leaves 2 hikes on the table now, Ryan? Would that be a negative for the market? I think so, right?
Yeah, I mean, would that make the market come back in? Yeah, but I think that's probably what we need.
Okay. So then it's a good on both sides of that, right? Something to keep an eye out, guys. Like always, we like to do a little bit of talk here also on this show and just kind of have conversations about what are we seeing, right? It's very important to have that conversation because I think that's how we find plays, right? We look ahead and we try to be ahead of the events. And also what you got to do is understand the risk and reward there. A lot of times I don't play CPI off of the report, but it's something that I'll be looking at tomorrow to see if we see that slight spike and then the market come down. Is Barry still holding those huge SPY puts? He might be. Who knows?
Yeah, see, Born, this is kind of where I'm at. They don't have a choice. The cost of living is getting too high. There has to be a painful reset coming soon. I'm with you on that one.
So they have to what? Continue to hike, go the extreme, right? What have I always said about the Fed? They play the extreme game. That's what they do. They move to the other side of the table and then work backwards. They go from extremely accommodating to extremely restrictive. That's what I've seen in the history. And so this is just historical outlook, but I still don't see them as, extremely restrictive here. They've even said it. Jerome said it. We're starting to get in restrictive areas. So I think that we can maybe go a little bit more. When's the next Fed meeting? I got you, Kevin. That's what it's all about, right? Next Fed meeting is going to happen on the 19th, and then the interest rate decision would be on September 20th. All right, guys, it's 11:02. I'm going to wrap up the day and continue battling here with DraftKings and MSOS. Where can you guys keep up with this information? None other than Start Swing Trade later today. So keep up with all the action. And of course, check out Trade the Pool. If you guys haven't done so already, check it out, get after it, get the 14-day free trial, and get ready, team, because we're going to bring you more and more from Trade the Pool. I'm actually going to be looking at maybe starting a little bit of a kind of like a paper trading competition or something like that, where we can win some accounts, we can win some pro action, because I want to compete with you guys out there. But of course, we're not going to make you guys put up your real money, but might as well have a little bit of a competition where we can have some fun and seeing what you guys can do. So if you guys are interested in that, please throw up a 1 in the chat right now. That will tell me to get it going, right? And it will also tell Trade the Pool to get it going. And of course, this will be on the Trade the Pool account and platform, so maybe you guys can at least learn how to use it. Let me know. Just throw up a 1 in the chat. That's going to let me know if you guys are interested. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Ryan, any last comments before we get out of here?
Nope. Let's see where the market actually closes, and let's stick through it. I'm going to keep fighting through the funk that I'm in, and hopefully we'll be back and better than ever.
Better be careful, Plasma. I'm like Mayweather, baby. Lightning quick, baby. Lightning quick. You don't want to see this, baby. Let's go. Let's
Mitch
get
is
it.
looking for any reason he can to throw hands, Plasma.
Hey.
So
Hey, what can I say? What can I say, guys? Hey, I try to keep my hands to myself, but hey, if anybody wants to go ahead and do a little wrestling match, Elon Musk, where you out there? Zuckerberg, where you out there? Come on. I'll take you on. You guys outweigh me, and I'll still take you on. Let's go. All right, I see you guys throwing up the 1s in the chat. I love the love. Hey, smash the like, guys. We had a great show for you guys today. I know I enjoyed it. I know Ryan enjoyed it. All I can say, are you guys not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Mitch Gladiator, baby.
I was going to say, is that you, Mitch?
Of course, baby. You know I'm a gladiator. I'm ready to take it on any day. I'll see you guys like always. Smash the like. We have a good time. Oh, Aaron Rodgers confirmed torn Achilles.
Yep. Confirmed. 4 plays in.
Oh my God, man. That it just goes to show you don't spend money on old quarterbacks, man.
I mean, the reality, Mitch, is that entire situation is Tom Brady's fault. Think about it. Because Tom Brady got everyone thinking that father time, maybe just take some time off. Jets tried to build their team around a 39, 40-year-old quarterback, and this is what happens. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody is or will be Tom Brady. That's a wrap.
Well, I'm ready to Spartan kick this market, so I'll see what happens, guys. I will see you guys later today, of course. Where? You guys can catch me later today on Start Swing Trade. Don't go anywhere, team. We always got more for you right here on Benzinga.